KILR. Killer Games.
Hello gamers, simmers, and pilots. I am the Killer Gamer, and welcome to my tour around the world featuring Microsoft Flight Simulator 2004, also known as FS9. Well, it is snowing outside, but we are inside our new plane from the last flight, and we're going to be continuing with that today. I'm going to go over a little bit in detail about the plane because I found the documentation now. It's in a folder called Carenado in the main FS9 directory. Not where I expected it to be. I thought it would be in the same folder as the aircraft itself. Anyhow, let's talk about our flight. So we're here at Rush City, and we're going to be taking the I-35, which is right here. We're going past Pine City, just a short distance up here to Hinckley, and there's an airport, a private strip, right about here called Zeman, and we got permission to land there, well, virtually, and it's just a grass strip is all it is, and I wanted originally to land here at Field of Dreams, but this does not exist at the time of Flight Simulator 2004. The airport was actually built the same year. Now, is it in FSX? I don't know. I didn't get that far yet. An X-plane? Again, I'm not sure. If it is there, then what we'll be doing is doing a touch and go and then landing at Zeman. Hopefully they have Zeman in there. It should be there, but we'll see. This could be a bit of a troubling thing. Just to give you a little heads up on where we're going to be headed next, Hinckley is considered a halfway point between Minneapolis and Duluth, and that's kind of like why we're stopping here at Hinckley. Just because it's halfway. And I think it'll make for a good documentary for the X-Plane series. I read some information that there was a fire there. So I think it'll be interesting with what we do where we drive into town and take a look at a few things. Anyhow, with that, what I'd like to do is go through the different documentations that come with the Carenado King Air C90B. And here is the manual itself. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger. That's a little too big. I'll just make it back to that size again. So here's one thing you get. It's in regards to the EFIS system. That there looks like the real dashboard, as a matter of fact. So here's the system components. Shift 4 will bring up this panel for your autopilot, and this has got some functions on there. Then you've got your electronic attitude director and electronic horizontal situation indicator. Then you have this altitude pre-selector, and then it kind of tells you what some of the stuff is. Oh, and these are the different looks for the electronic attitude director indicator. So I guess like that's standard, And then you can have this, the HSI mode display, identifier and distance to VOR or waypoint, and then the ARC mode display, which is the identifier and distance to VOR or waypoint. Oh, and then the map mode display. So you got all of that in that one little device. And this will pretty much tell you, like, okay, this, you turn it on. Some of these switches don't work. There's the course knob, and there's the heading knob. Heading knob here. You push this to synchronize the heading bug with the actual aircraft course. So you use the left and right mouse buttons on the outer knob to switch between nav data on the waypoint information. And then three modes are ground speed, time to go to the next waypoint, and ET, which is a timer. And then the EHSI display mode, which is right here in the middle. This is where you can switch to those different views, the map, the ARC, and the HSI. And again, you use the left and right mouse buttons to switch between the three displays. That's on the outer. The inner one allows you to use the zoom function on that. There's a course selector here and a course knob. So bearing pointer selectors, that's these right here, these two. The single line arrow will be selecting VOR1, VOR2, or ADF, and the double line is a magenta. So here's the single, here's the double, and if we go up here, you can see how there is the magenta, the cyan one. So that's what it's referring to. Course selector, press this button for selecting between VOR1 and VOR2 as the primary active pointer. So course selector, that's this right here. Makes sense, it's sitting right next to them. Then you got course knob, push to synchronize the EHSI course pointer with the actual aircraft course. Use the left and right mouse buttons on the inner knob to move the course arrow of the EHSI. I think that is referring to the heading bug. So if you push this, it moves the heading bug right on the route that you're at. And then here's all the autopilot stuff. And what's neat is there's a button for climb and one for descend. That will automatically, like, climb will be a profile of 1,500 feet per minute, and descend is 500 feet per minute. VS is inoperative and IAS is inoperative. I guess they're broke. But that is the first part of the documentation. And then the second one here is the emergency checklist. So, you know, if you have an emergency and you kind of want to go through this checklist, it's neat that it's here, but does anyone actually use this, I wonder? I guess maybe for roleplay reasons. It's like, okay, hold on. Shut the engine down, prop feather, close. I mean, yeah, it would be interesting, definitely. But it would be more interesting if the simulator was so realistic that you had to actually go through this checklist, or, you know, some type of disaster, you know, would happen. But right now, it's kind of like there's no point to it other than just role-playing. And here's the normal checklist. Now, I had done... This is the second attempt at recording this video, because on the first one, I was thinking about going through the checklist for the first time on the plane, and I wound up recording like 45 minutes worth just because of how much detail is here. And I'm just like, no, that's not going to work. But here's all the stuff here. It's quite long. You got engine starting, battery, taxiing before takeoff, all this stuff here. Balked landing, after landing, maximum reverse landing. Yeah, I just want to fly. Yeah, you know, I just want to fly. Okay, and then here is the maximum. These are the performance tables. That's what this is. So it's your, you know, what you would figure. The higher altitude you go, the better fuel flow that you'll get. So nothing really impressive to look at there. And this is the reference guide here in regards to speed. I never really look at this anyway. If anything, I look at the air minimum to give me an idea. Okay, I need to keep it up to that speed, otherwise it's going to stall. Not so much this, because there's usually a marker in the speedometer. Yeah, the speed indicator to tell you if you're going way too fast than you should be. Maneuvering speed 169. That's kind of useful. And these I never really look at that. And I never look at those. Minimum. Where's the the rotation speed? Huh, I don't see it. Well, I figure when the plane starts lifting up in the air, then I've reached the rotation speed. All right, and then there is one here for the Terrain Awareness Annunciator Control Unit, which is this right here. So you got a test button. Momentary switch when pressed will check all LEDs. Again, you know, it's cool that it's there, but it's not like the LEDs ever go out. It's not like you have to ever replace the circuit breakers or fuses. So it would just, I would like it if there was actually more interaction with something, like something's, or at least, you know, an option, you know, a deluxe option where it's kind of like, oh, I got to replace this or that. If not, such and such is not going to work. And then you've got the annunciations here. Tear NA, terrain information is not available. Tear red, aircraft is less than 500 feet. Orange, 1,000 feet. Terrain, it's terror, especially terror if you're about ready to hit it. INHB, system has been placed in standby mode. And I'm going to say terrain inhibitor, or inhibited. Okay, and is that the last one? Nope, not yet. So now you've got something on the Garmin 530, and it just explains what the buttons are. This is similar to what I've seen on X-Plane with the Cessna there. So if you're familiar with that, then you should feel right at home with this. And part of this is still similar to what we have in FS9 and FSX. And Prepared, I think, for that matter. Then you got this little thing here. This GPS 400 default map. You know, the one in X-Plane has two also, and I never looked at this. I think it had this, and then it had the ability to change other radios. I never looked at it. And you see you can switch to a map view on this also. And then position. And this is the last document here. The GPS Annunciation Control Unit. This right here. So you got OBS, momentary action switch. When pressed, will select between auto and OBS modes. And then you got term, enunciated when operating within 30 miles of departure or arrival airport. Approach, GPS is actively engaged in the approach mode, OBS. This will activate the course selector and also disable the automatic GPS waypoint sequencing. Auto, this will disable the course selector input to the GPS and will enable automatic GPS waypoint sequencing. Message, GPS message alert, WPT, GPS waypoint alert, INTG, integrity annunciator, eliminates when GPS receiver detects a position error or is unable to calculate integrity of position. So yeah, that is a mouthful. That is definitely a mouthful. And although it took me a little bit to go through everything that's there, that is nothing like how long it took by going through the actual checklist. That was just crazy. All right, we are going to go ahead and get things turned on here. And since I have gone through the checklist, I have kind of an idea of what we need to do. It stopped snowing. So this is what we need to do. We've got to open this up. I think turn that on, and then go ahead and turn the left one on there. And then we just go ahead and move this up right there. Boom, see, it's spinning. Then we move this generator. This is like generator 1. Move that up to the upper position. Then do the right one. And there it goes. And then we just go ahead and lift this up. And there it goes. See, you don't have to do Control E. This other stuff I've never really messed with, and I don't know what. Honestly, don't know if those generator things are really needed. Engine auto ignition. I don't remember those actually being. I'm sure they're in the checklist. I just don't remember them being there. But let's see. Let's go do our taxi. That. Okay, those are already on. That should turn everything on here. Except for this stuff. Trying to get this thing to open up. There. Okay. I am not sure. Oh, that's right. It's this little button right here. Maybe. Okay. Had to turn them both on, I guess. So what we can go ahead and do now is just we can put in our location where we're going to be going here. Active flight plan. Oh, look at this. It's down here. This is a little bit different. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I didn't see that before. I have these panels off to the side. I'll just look at them over here. It's a little bit easier. Okay, that was better. I just went ahead and just loaded the flight plan into it. I was trying to do a direct to waypoint, but the thing was just being ridiculous. Okay. Well, I think we're set. Let's go ahead and get our autopilot set up here. Right. This is where we set it. I think 3400 will probably be fine. I don't want to be too high up. It's not going to take us long to get there. Not in this thing. Okay, we'll turn that on. We're doing altitude. I think think that'll do it. Now the last thing is we just tune into Unicom. And we can do that here with this knob. You can see how it changes. Or, nicely enough, we can just change it over here.
Five, 1, Mike, November, traffic,
There it
King
goes.
Air, 1, 3, Foxtrot, departing runway, 3, 5, to the northeast.
Okay. It's thinking I'm taking off from Zeman Airport, and I'm not. I was having problems with trying to get ProFlight Emulator to work from this airport for whatever reason. It just kept crashing. So that's okay. We just won't bother with it. Alright, let's go ahead and turn this off here. Let's see, we can change stuff there. Turn that on. So I think we're good. Go ahead and do a pushback. Yeah, I know. We're like 25 minutes into the flight and we still haven't gotten anywhere. I get it. But it's going to be such a short flight. I figured this was the best time to go through the actual documentation for the plane itself. Currently trying to turn. That's right. We need to move these up. Now let's try it. Little patch of snow right there. It's a very nice plane. I do like the plane. Just take a little bit to get used to. I've flown the Cessna so much, and I like the Cessna, I really do. But I don't want to fly the same aircraft on, throughout the entire tour. I mean, this is going to be going on for probably 10 years. I want to get a chance to try different aircraft. Whoops. Come on. Trying to get it to budge is a little challenging. I'm just going to hit F4 for full throttle. Because it's a little silly. There we go. I needed to bring our flaps up. A little bit of an oversight on my part. Okay, I think that's telling us that we're getting close to the selected altitude, I think is what that's trying to tell us. And that's that. Here we are. Up in the air, that thing is loud. I think we can turn that off. I kind of noticed that you can go fast with this, but you can slow this plane down like a Cessna too, and really bring yourself in slow, kind of. Now the real question is, are we going to see the actual airport? Now there's something down there, but that's not it. And visibility is not the greatest. Visibility is like horrible, as a matter of fact. Okay, we are about 10 miles away now. Let's go ahead and start our descent. select this for descend. There we go. Bring down one thing of flaps here. Seven miles. Flaps are fully extended. Five miles, 100 knots. And I see the runway. Turn that, that's not the runway, that's a spot on my, that's a spot on my monitor. Yeah, that's a spot on the monitor. But we're 4 miles away. Okay, so... So we're here somewhere off to the left. No, that's another spot on my monitor. 3 miles. Where is that sucker?
500.
That's not it. No, that's not it. Two miles. Holy smokes, where is this thing? According to this, it's right in front of us. Can we not see it because it's covered with snow? Is that the problem? I think it's just like, I think maybe I see it. Right there it is. Whoa. Well, that was a fantastic landing right there. Probably should have done a go around. You guys are probably thinking, you're not supposed to put your back thrust on when you land. Boy, that runway was a lot lower than what I was expecting. Well, okay. That was a great landing. I did notice something, though. The slew does not work. When I hit Y, okay, now it works. It didn't, I don't know why. I don't know why, but why it didn't work before. Ugh. Alright, anyway. Well, that was a really horrible landing. Oh yeah, that's right. I think we can turn those off. Okay, well, that is it for this flight. Oh man, that was really lame. But it was hard to see this runway, so it's all right. There'll be plenty of other airports to land at, and this is the second flight I've had with this plane, so it's going to take practice. But anyway, check this out on the other simulators. They're not as bad as far as trying to land at this runway. But other than that, I will see you on the next leg of our journey. Take care. Don't forget that we're doing this same flight in the other simulators, so check those out if you'd like to make some comparisons or just relive some of those old fun memories of the past. Be sure to subscribe to be notified of future flight simulator content, and thanks very much for watching.